Are you looking for a place that fuses passion with colonial-style architecture, yet has a vibrant food scene and an energy to match?
Viva la Boca!
Often dubbed the Paris of South America, Buenos Aires is on the wish list of many travellers. But what is it that makes this place so special? In this video, join me as I travel across Buenos Aires and take in its sights, sounds and smells. I visit the eclectic area of La Boca, the eccentric Recoleta Cemetery, and enjoy a relaxing boat ride in the beautiful area of Tigre, to name just a few things. So come with me for the ride and see what the fuss really is all about. Hello! In the centre of Buenos Aires in the middle of winter in August. The first thing we did upon arrival was take a walk in the city centre to take in some of the main sights and the architecture, which is very European in nature. Next we headed to Teatro Colón, and it's clear that this is an architectural masterpiece. It's been described as being one of the 5 best concert halls in the world thanks to its outstanding acoustics. Tours are available inside the theatre, though we didn't go in, and I'd love to go back when the concert's on. Floral BA. I wonder what BA stands for. This is the Times Square of Buenos Aires. I think so. We've got the obelisk, we've got the BA sign, we've got all of the gaudy adverts. It's cool, I like it. The obelisk was constructed in 1936 to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the first foundation of the city, and it truly is the icon of Buenos Aires. Walk along the port area, there's lots of little eateries, little food places to check out, the street food and things like that. This is Puerto Madero, a gentrified docksides area which is a bustling part of the city. And here you can find the Puente de las Mujeres, the Women's Bridge. It's been given this name as the Puerto Madero district has many streets named after women. The architect of the bridge has said that the design represents a couple dancing the tango. I wonder if that's a sample. Got a bit fed up with that one before actually constructing that one. Of course, this isn't just a random blob in the water. La Puente de las Mujeres is a swing bridge to allow boats to pass through, and this post acts as a stabilising pylon. From all the way to Buenos Aires to find a boat that was constructed in Recoleta. Now, with a lot of street art in this area, you can act it out if you want to. We did, obviously to varying degrees of success. But it's also along here that you can find a statue of Anne Frank. Now, at first glance, this seems a strange place for a statue of her, but it became apparent why her statue appears in the city later on in our trip, so stay tuned to find out why. We then headed over to the Reserva Ecológica Costanera Sur and walked along the promenade. Whilst we didn't go in, we were able to enjoy from a distance and take in the sights of some of Argentina's native wildlife, some of which was new to us, some slightly more familiar. Paseo de la Gloria. Lionel Messi. Never heard of him. From here, it was time to enjoy an Argentinian delicacy, medialunas. Basically a croissant, sometimes with ham and cheese inside. They're a must-try whilst in Argentina. And we then headed over to the vibrant neighbourhood of La Boca. Full of colourful buildings, papier-mâché figures and bustling market stalls, this place is full of life and energy. Caminito with Lionel Messi with the World Cup. Loving these really colourful buildings in La Boca. I think this is what is one of the best things about this city. The houses in La Boca were built with wood and sheet metal painted with countless striking colours using paint left over from the port. And the main centrepiece of the neighbourhood is Caminito. Look out for the many decorated buildings, murals and tango dancing taking place within the street, hidden amongst the markets that need to be visited. Not all superheroes wear a cape, eh? Hit me baby one more time. I think this wants to murder us. Yeah. Loads of paper mache figures and figurines, and I don't know whether I'm impressed by them or completely freaked out by them. But the dots all over the place. There's one of the Pope, there's one of Lionel Messi, there's one of Maradona. It seems to be... Is that Messi? Yeah. Do you like them, or are you freaked out? What? The paper mache stuff? Weird. They're really weird, aren't they? I love these murals behind us. It was about that for a hairy chest. It's worth noting that whilst generally alright in the daytime, La Boca has a reputation of being unsafe at night. So keep your wits about you, keep an eye on your belongings, and don't go down any roads or alleys that look secluded. But most of all, make sure you soak in the atmosphere of this brilliant place. That's what I thinks of us. Yeah, you. We headed back into the Barrio Norte district in the evening time and stopped by at this interesting place. Surely one of the most impressive bookstores in existence, this is El Ateneo. With beautiful ceiling frescoes painted by the renowned Italian artist Nazareno Orlandi, and a cafe located on what would have been the stage, this bookstore still has the feel of what life would have been like in this former theatre. It's a joy to behold, and it's a great spot to whittle away time. Just a few doors down from El Ateneo is Buenos Aires Grill. An unassuming restaurant, this place was a delight. In Argentina, it really is all about the steak, and we weren't disappointed. It was cooked to perfection, with a generous portion size for the price paid. It capped off a fantastic day. The next day, we headed over to the Recoleta district. On this tree, how old it is, and how it is supported by these metal supports as well. Absolutely beautiful. The Recoleta district is an affluent, traditionally upper-class area of Buenos Aires. It's a great place to go for a walk and just watch the world go by. But it's also home to Recoleta Cemetery, dating from the 19th century onwards, which has become a tourist attraction in its own right. And it costs about £12 to £13 to enter. Walking in Recoleta Cemetery with the mausoleums. It's an incredible place. I think it's one of the most morbid things that I've ever done. Oddly captivating at the same time. Okay, so this isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. But the workmanship that has gone into creating these mausoleums is impressive. In 2013, CNN listed this place as one of the best 10 cemeteries in the world. For me, I enjoyed looking at the intricate designs of the different tombs on show. Though, I've got to admit, it did feel a little freaky. Whilst visiting the cemetery, make sure you check out the gravesite of Eva Perón, the famous former First Lady who inspired the film Evita. Compared to some of the other tombs on show, the family mausoleum is a humble addition to this cemetery. Afterwards, we headed to the Buenos Aires Holocaust Museum. Entry is about £4, and the museum is a sombre yet informative and interesting experience. It may seem strange to have a Holocaust remembrance so far away from the front line, but this goes back to the heart of the question as to why a statue of Anne Frank is located in the city. Migration has been hugely influential in the makeup and composition of Argentina, and we wouldn't have the country that we have today without it. Many Europeans emigrated from Europe to Argentina in the first half of the 20th century. And with that, as World War II broke out, Argentina was ideologically at war at the same time, with many from German heritage sympathising with the Nazis, and many Jews and other groups being strongly opposed to the events taking place on the other side of the Atlantic. The Holocaust and the events of World War II have indirectly shaped Argentina, and it's only fitting that this museum remembers that. Until the end of January 2025, there's an exhibition at this museum entitled Purple Triangles, a story of courage and resilience. This exhibition covers the story and experiences of one of the lesser-known groups who have endured persecution at the hands of the Nazis, Jehovah's Witnesses. Titled after the identifying mark, the Purple Triangle, which was sewn onto their uniforms within the concentration camps, this three-part exhibit uses historical and personal accounts to illustrate how Jehovah's Witnesses demonstrated integrity and resilience in countries occupied by the Nazi regime. All in all, this museum offers an enlightening and eye-opening insight into the harrowing events of the Holocaust and serves as a sobering reminder of why events like this should never be allowed to occur again. Another day, and we started the morning off in La Panera Rosa, an Argentinian restaurant chain. This place serves hearty breakfasts and brunch for a reasonable price. And whilst they've maxed out on the aesthetics, this hasn't come at the detriment of the quality of the food. Smallest house in Buenos Aires.
There's a little QR code over there.
In the South Elmo market, an incredible food store, lot on display. Sometimes many of these indoor markets can be tourist traps, but San Telmo feels different. It's a great place to unwind and enjoy the many restaurants and eateries that it has to offer. In the evening time, based off recommendations, we headed to La Cabrera, but being honest, it was a bit of a disappointment. The food was good, but we'd have better elsewhere. For what it offers, it's quite overpriced and overhyped, and the service certainly left a lot to be desired. But we capped off the night with an Argentinian delicacy and delight, dulce de leche. Make sure you stop by one of the many shops specialising in this tasty treat whilst in Buenos Aires. After starting another day off with coffee and cake, this time at Rita Specialty Coffee, which I'd highly recommend, we made our way to Retiro train station to catch our onward trip onto Tigre. The train station itself is a spectacle to behold, and it's been declared a National Historical Monument within Argentina. Now, for anyone who knows me as the travelling Scouser, I was pleasantly surprised to see that the steelworks originate from my home city, Liverpool. What can I say? We've left our mark everywhere. The train from Retiro to Tigre is a straightforward affair, with the journey lasting just under an hour. A return ticket cost the equivalent of about 50p, so it's certainly not going to break the bank. Little day out on the Tigre Delta, off to the Paraná River Delta. After suffering a bit of a decline, Tigre is now one of the best places to visit in the Buenos Aires area. Famed for its islands and canals, many people would say that this is the Venice of Buenos Aires. But it's more than that. It feels raw, untouched in part, yet with a heritage that reflects a bygone age, whilst fully embracing the future and the excitement that surrounds this place. Sun, which is incredible. It's been raining all week. It's still chilly, but the sun makes all the difference. Of course, we couldn't visit this town without taking a river cruise. There's a variety of options available, with each excursion lasting differing lengths and offering alternative views across the labyrinth that is the Tigre Delta network, some taking in different deltas. We chose a cruise that lasted just over an hour, which for me was the ideal amount of time to see everything as you're just about to see. And you can book this cruise too. I've put a link in the description below. It was fast approaching the end of our stay in this vibrant metropolis, but on our last day, we had to visit one of Buenos Aires' most recognisable landmarks. Inside the Casa Rosada. The Casa Rosada, or Pink House, is the President of Argentina's official workplace. It's famous for its depiction in the film Evita, as it was here that Madonna was filmed singing the famous balcony scene from Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. And just at the back of this impressive mansion is the Casa Rosada Museum. Not bad for a free museum. Kill a few hours whilst in Buenos Aires. In this museum, you can find many artifacts and memorabilia from Argentina's recent presidents and history. You'll also see ruins dating back to the 16th century, including that of the Fort of Buenos Aires. It's not a groundbreaking museum, but for free entry, there are worse ways to spend an hour or two. Plus, it's a good base to gain a bit of knowledge into Argentina's more recent political history. That, my friends, near enough brings an end to my stay in Buenos Aires. And whilst it's been my first visit to Argentina, I certainly hope that it's not my last. The vibrancy, the edginess, the culture, and the energy of this city has made it one of the best cities that I've ever visited. Buenos Aires has gained a place in my heart, and I'm sure you'll feel the same when you visit this beautiful place. My next trip is just around the corner, and I've got more of South America to see. So please, hit subscribe and give me a like so you don't miss out on any of my travels. I'll catch you very soon. Ciao for now.